How y'all doing? It is Wednesday, West Wednesday. All right. Art and activism, the art of protest. See that? That's Maryland Arts Day 2025. You talking about from 2006 to now. See what that is? That's Lady Brion, the Maryland Black Arts District. All right. Racism don't work without black cooperation. We talking about the 2025 session. I was making a documentary and y'all locked me up for making a documentary. The documentary was about race and racism. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? Dred Scott. You repealed Roe versus Wade. Now we're going to go after Dred Scott. These are your elected officials by districts. All right? And in the 2025 session, I spoke to each one of y'all. I was looking for exoneration of the Supreme Court. All right? And that's Kaylin Young and Bill Ferguson, Clippinger. I put y'all on film. Social media for social change. Weaving the social fabric of life. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. So we're going to do it like this. That's the state's attorney's office. See the date and the time? Let me make sure y'all got this right. No. That's Greg Bernstein. Greg Bernstein, Scott Shellenberger conspired to deny me my constitutional rights. I was making a documentary and filing a class action lawsuit about your prison industry. Right here. See that? Dwayne G. Davis, P.O. Box 38. That's Patrick Fitzgerald from the Department of Justice. I went home on vacation and came back on probation. I organized while I was in jail. Makes it a class action lawsuit because you did it to a class of people. And the state's attorney had that. Alright? Scott Shellenberger had this and Greg Bernstein had this. Judge Carrion got this. Judge Turnbull had it. Judge Papaya has it. We talking about your prison industry and mass incarceration. See who that is? That's the Supreme Court. That's Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. And like I said, everything I do is notarized, so it's legal documentation. Alright? Legal documentation. See who got it? NAACP, Eric Holder, the ACLU, President Obama. You want me mad at Trump? I'm mad at Democrats and Republicans because y'all make a lot of money off the prison industry and nobody want to talk about it. Right here, we're going to talk about it. Dwayne G. Davis, Ridge Country Store. That's David Irwin. And we talking about that 1986 case. When you bring that 86 case up, you bring up false information to the courts. You committed perjury. False evidence to the grand jury. So Scott Shellenberger needs to be disbarred. Everything Scott Shellenberger touched since 2006 going to be reversed and remanded. Because like I said, a class action lawsuit because you did it to a class of people. Right here. Want to save a cop's life? End the war on drugs. See who wrote that? Me and Neil Franklin was on the panel together. And like I said, you can't deny me access to the court. But you did. See the date? A motion for a public hearing. A motion for a public hearing. You see the date? See who got that? That's the courts. That's Greg Bernstein. That's Judge Turnbull. That's Judge Papaya. That's the judges in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. And like I said, I was making a documentary about you. And I used the toilet to do it. It's right there. Commode motion. And it's right there. Legislative caucus. I exhausted my remedies under the law. City, county, state, and federal levels. And like I said, I'm the cook in Baltimore. That's me on the House of Cards. Making a documentary about Baltimore and against the law. See that? That's the Afro-American newspaper. That's Shorty's. Alright? I own me. I'm a free black man. You feel me? I'm a free black man. I own all parts of me. So this movie is going to be very, very special. See that? That's Shorty's Underground. I own all shares of me. Nobody can sign my checks and nobody can do none of that. None of that. Alright? I'm the president, the secretary. Dwayne G. Davis Sr. A movie about being black in America. The Maryland Black Arts District. You feel me? 2025. So Kaylin Young, my paperwork for exoneration. Delegate Stephanie Smith, Corey McRae, I need my paperwork. Racism don't work without black cooperation. I need our black leadership to start standing up for us. You feel me? Bill Ferguson, Clippinger, making a movie about y'all and our elected officials. Mary Washington, Embry, you spoke at the event. Conway, no, that ain't Conway. But you get the big picture here? Mary Washington, Delegate Boyce, Embry, you feel me? Mary Washington, we talked about DRED Scott. Delegate Boyce used to work for City Hall from 2011 to now. Everything you got is going to be on public display. Legislators by district. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? You repealed Roe versus Wade. With 2025, we're going after DRED Scott.